Hey guys, today let us discuss about the chapter 2, that is how to write the variables, expressions and the statements in the Python programming language. Okay, so before writing the variables, expressions or the statements, let us know what is values and what exactly is the type. Okay, so in general we say a value is one of the basic things a program works with, like a letter or the number. Okay, we say a letter or any number can be called as the values. Okay, so the values we have seen, that is 1 2 can be called as value, or when you write a print statement and inside the braces will be writing a string, that is hello world, that can be called as the values. Okay, so this values belongs to two different types. One, it can be an integer, and this hello world, this is 1 and 2 can be called as integers, and this hello world can be called as a string. So it belongs to integer or the string, or it can, we have some other types of the values also we will discuss here. Okay, so this can be called because it contains a string of letter. This hello world can be called a string because it contains a string of the letters. Okay, so here as an interpreter it can identify the string because they are enclosed in the quotation mark. Okay, so interpreter can identify this as the string. Okay, so now for example we have a print statement. Say we have print of the 4. So when you type this statement, what does it give? It is going to give the 4. Now you want to find out the what is the type of the value 4. Okay, and how do you want to find out this? So the syntax is type of the, for example you can write type of the 4. When you write the type of the 4, it is going to show it belongs to integer. Okay, see here, for example you want to find the type of the hello world. Okay, how it does do type of hello world, so it shows it belongs to a class of the string. Okay, when you want to find the type of 17, it obviously it belongs to integer, since 17 is integer number. In the same way 4 is also integer. So when you write type of the 4, and it gives you class integer. Okay, so that is how you find the types of the any value. Okay, so we say a string belongs to the type str and integers belongs to type int. Okay, string we can say string belongs to type str, and integers we can say it belongs to int. Okay, obviously numbers with a decimal point belong to type float. Okay, whenever you have a numbers with decimal point, for example say 3.2, so we can say this is a floating point number. So when you want to find the type of this number in the Python, how do you write type of the 3.2? It belongs to floating point number. Okay, so what about this values 17 and 3.2, which is enclosed within the quotes? Okay, make sure whatever you write within the single quotes or double quotes, that can be considered as the strings. Make sure the strings can be represented within the quotes. Okay, that is why it is showing the class it belongs to string. Okay, so that is why we say they are strings. Okay, so that is how we can find out the types of any values. Okay, so the next one is how to write the variables in the Python programming language. What are the rules associated when you are writing the variables? Okay, so one of the most powerful features of Python programming language is ability to manipulate the variables. Okay, what is variable? A variable is a name that refers to a value. Okay, so when you have an assignment statement, it creates a new variable and gives them the values. For example, say I have a message. This message can be considered as the variable name, and you have some set of the value. Okay, this is a variable name and this is value, and n, again n is equals to 17. This is the variable name and this is value. Pi, this is a variable name and this is the value. Okay, so now when you want to display these variables using the print statement, for example if you want to print the value of n, how do you write print of n? Then it is going to give this 17. In the similar way, pi, print of pi. Okay, so the type of the variable is type of the value it refers to. Okay, so when you want to find the type of the message, then obviously the value is a string, because within the quotes we have mentioned the value. So obviously type of the message is, it is string. Type of n is integer, then type of the pi is floating point, because we have a decimal number. Okay, so now when you are writing the variable names and the keywords, okay, so we say generally when we are writing the variable names, we can say it can be arbitrarily long. So we have some rules associated with this. A variable can contain both letters and number, but they cannot start with the number. Make sure you should not start with the variables with the number. Okay, for example, look here, you have 76 thrombs. Okay, when you start with the number, I cannot say this is a variable name, it gives a invalid syntax. Okay, so they can contain both letters and the number, but should not start with the number. Okay, it is legal to use uppercase letters, but you can use the uppercase letters, but it is good idea to begin variable with the lowercase letters. Okay, so the underscore character can appear in the name, you can use the underscore character, and it is often used in the names with the multiple words such as my name or airspeeds. You can see this is the correct way of using the variable names. Okay, this is also a correct way. So we can say variable names can also start with underscore character, but generally avoid using this unless we are writing the library code for that. Make sure the variable name should not have the numbers, and it should not contain the white spaces between them, and it can not start with the special characters, and but it can start with the underscore, and we can use the underscore instead of the white spaces. Okay, so that is how we can use the variable names. Okay, you cannot use the keywords as the variable. Keep in mind, class, here you can see why it is showing invalid syntax. Class is a keyword. Okay, so you cannot use this class as the variable name. Okay, you cannot use the special symbols in the variable name, only you can use the underscore. Okay, so that is the rules associated with the variable name. So these are the Python reserved keywords, and these cannot be used as the variable names. Okay, fine. So the next one is statements. How do you write the statements in the Python programming language? We can say a statement is a unit of the code that the Python interpreter can execute. Okay, so we have seen two kinds of statements. The print is being an expression statement and assignment statement. So when you type a statement in the interactive mode, the interpreter executes it and displays the results if there is one. The script usually contains a sequence of this statement. If there is more than one statement, the result appears one after the other. Okay, for example, say you have two statements here, print of 1 and x is equals to 2 and print of x. So what will the flow of the output? Print of 1 means first it will print 1, then you are writing the variable and assigning the value 2, and now I want the value of this x, then we write print of x. So the order of the execution is 1 and then it prints the 2. Okay, so this assignment statement, it does not produce the any output. So that is how you write the statement. Next topic is operators and operands. How do you use the operators and the operands in the Python programming language? In general, we say operators are the special symbols that represent the computations like addition, subtractions, or multiplications or division. So the values of these operators applied to are called operands. Okay, so we can see, look at this example. The operator here is plus. Okay, when you look at this example, the operator here is minus. What would be the operands here? 20 and 32 can be called as operands, or however, and 1 is can be called as the operands. So that is why the values the operator is applied is called as the operands. Okay, so in general we use the basic operators like plus, minus, into, division, and then exponent. For exponentiation we use the double star to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and then exponentiation. Okay, that is how these examples, you can have a look at these examples, how we can use these operators and then operands. Okay, now there has been a change in the division operator, because when you have a Python second version and the latest version 3, okay, so in the Python 3 and the higher version, the resulting division is a floating point result. When you are using the Python, when you have a software with 3 and the higher Python, then for example, say it gives you a floating point number, minute is equals to 59, minute divided by 69, it gives the exact floating point value. But whereas in the Python 2, it gives it round offs the value and it will give the 0. It divides the two integer and truncate the result to an integer. It will truncate the value. Okay, so to obtain the same answer in the Python 3.0, use the float function. Okay, in the Python 2.0, it is rounded off, that is, it is truncating the remaining value and it is giving the 0. In the same way, when you want to obtain this in the Python 3, how do we do it? We use the float function. So when you use the float function, we get the truncated value. Okay, so we say a Python 3.0 integer division functions would be much more, except if you enter the expression in the calculator. So that is, Python 3 gives the exact values. Okay, so that is how we use the operators and the operands. Okay, so in the next video session, we'll be discussing about what is expressions. Thank you.